So, welcome to module 3 of our course on maximizing me. And we're going to go straight in. What are the causes of low self-esteem? So, we've talked about what's in module 2, we talked about the things that make us have a low self-esteem, how we feel. We feel worthless, we feel rejected, we feel nobody likes us, we feel guilty doing anything for ourselves. We feel guilty when we spend money on ourselves or spend time on ourselves. We just don't like ourselves for whatever reason. Now, we're going to now look at the underlying causes of those negative feelings that we had for ourselves. What are the root causes of it, and how can we change it around to work for us? So, what are the causes of low self-esteem? And we can see this young child looking very upset, Now, one of the causes is uninvolved or negligent parents. When we were growing up, and a lot of the time, some of these things really come from our childhood, trauma that we experienced, at the childhood level. So if you had parents that were unattended, uninvolved or negligent, it might not have been intentional. Our mothers, our fathers, maybe due to the pressure of work and the need to provide for the home, might not have had all the time to build up our confidence in us as when we were young. So if you had parents that were always telling you, you are a useless child, you never do well, you are so stupid, you are so, those negative words that have been spoken into you have a way of sitting in your subconscious. They sit in your subconscious, and then over time you begin to believe it. Oh, I'm so useless. Oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm never going to do well. It could be from your teachers, it could be from your parents, it could be from role models and people that you look up to, respect. If they kept on speaking negative things into your subconscious, that could be the root cause of your low self-esteem. Or sometimes they just didn't have your time. They didn't have the time of day to even attend to you at all. They were so engrossed in providing from the home or, doing some other things. Sometimes also when you are a child from a broken home, that also can affect you because your mother or your father might have been going through some emotional stress or trauma, and therefore they're not able to provide that emotional covering and support for their children. So this could be one of the causes of, you having a low self-esteem. Sometimes, like I said, overly critical parents and teachers or people in authority, and I mentioned that earlier. When you have teachers telling you are a never do well, you're totally useless. I remember something my mom used to say back then. She would say "Omo jati jati," and I remember one day I actually had to ask her what was the meaning of jati jati. So if you have parents that constantly say negative things to you, these things sit in your subconscious, and you grow up believing those things. So you as parents today, it's important that you speak positively to your children and the young people around you. If you're a teacher or anybody in authority, always remember that people around you, younger ones around you, speak positive things into them and build up their self-esteem. Don't let them, go through the challenges that you might have experienced. If you've been a victim of bullying, trauma, or abuse at any level, now, some people have been through some really terrible trauma. Some people have been sexually abused and molested. Some people have been bullied by classmates, beaten up, gone through quite a lot of trauma. And so such people might be very timid and afraid because they're afraid that they're going to experience some pushback, more bullying, more abuse. And the abuse is not only physical, it's emotional abuse as well. The emotional abuse is sometimes more traumatic than even the physical abuse. So people that have experienced one form of trauma or abuse, in different perspectives, will have a challenge with their opinion of themselves. Some people have been abused to the point that they think it's normal for them to be abused. They think they deserve the terrible way they are being treated. And really, that is not right. It's not right at all. Previous wrong judgments or bad choices. You did something stupid. You got involved with the wrong type of friends. You got involved with, you did something stupid somewhere in your youth. Now, sometimes some of these acts really get you into a whole lot of trouble. And you keep on blaming yourself for it. Sometimes, and you can see these young children having guns now, especially abroad. You have this huge challenge of gangs, young people getting into drugs, carrying weapons, shooting each other. And so if you've witnessed, for example, you've been in a gang and you've witnessed somebody being shot, that image, it kind of lives with you, and you blame yourself for it, and you feel that it was your fault, you're not worthy, and somehow you're looking for a way to constantly and continuously punish yourself for that mistake that you made. It could be some other, traumatic experience. Something happened to somebody. I remember watching a movie where somebody was supposed to be taking care of somebody, and the boy fell down and he became crippled. Now, that young girl, you'd live with the guilt that, oh, it was my fault. If I had been more attentive, if I had watched him closer, if I hadn't brought him to this place, he might not have fallen down, and he might not have, had that ghastly accident. And so sometimes people live with the guilt of mistakes that they've made in the past, wrong choices that they've made in the past, wrong judgments that they've made in the past. The truth is that the event has happened. It is unfortunate. It is terrible. You wish it never happened, but it did. But you need to move on. You need to forgive yourself, and you need to move on. You need to put the past behind you and move on. You need to tell yourself that, okay, I messed up, I will never mess up again. And I'm cleaning the slate and I'm moving on. So previous wrong judgments and bad choices can also affect the way and we think about ourselves and the opinion that we have of ourselves. Poor self-image. Now, this one is a classic. Too fat, too thin, too tall, too short, too fair, too dark. My hair is too short. My hair is too long. My feet are too... We look at our physical appearance and we have so much complaints. And so you have tall people, slouching because they feel they're too tall. You have short people trying to become tall. You have people that are fat, not obese now, but they're now starving themselves because they want to come down to a size 6. And then I've seen extreme cases where people are trying to become so skinny that they now have anorexia, which means the inability to eat, and that causes a whole lot of problems at the other end. We are always looking for different ways to change ourselves. We need to learn to accept ourselves the way we are. Yes, I understand if you're obese and it has become a health challenge, yes, you need to do something about your weight. But then you don't have to kill yourself and become a size 6. Just maintain a healthy weight and get good exercise. You are beautifully and you are wonderfully made. So we need to appreciate our physical appearance, the color of our eyes, the shape of our head, the size of our nose. A lot of people spend millions of dollars doing all manner of plastic surgery. I want bigger boobs. I want a straighter nose. I want bigger eyes. I want this, they do a lot of things to their bodies. And at the end of the day, they come out looking funny. Sometimes they've done the surgery and they realize that, I looked better without the surgery. And some of these surgeries are irreversible. And then what happens? The whole problem is now compounded. You have people that have done so much surgery, they now look like plastic dolls. And they now enter an increased mode of low self-esteem because they are not happy with themselves. And the worst part is that they can't really do anything about it anymore. So we need to learn to appreciate ourselves and have a positive image about the way we look. We are fearfully and wonderfully, mark my words, wonderfully made. We are not a mistake. Nothing about us is a mistake. So our fourth exercise is, I want you to list 10 things that you like about yourself. So we usually focus on everything we don't like. Oh, I don't like my tummy, it's too big. I don't like my nose, it's too flat. I don't like my eyes, they're too tiny. Now, forget about the things that you don't like and focus on the things that you do like and write 10 of them down. You can write more. You know the drill, you've got 5 minutes. So you are uniquely and wonderfully made. No two people are 100% the same, even twins. Identifying and focusing more on the things about yourself that you like helps you appreciate your uniqueness better. So forget about the things that you don't like and look at the things that you do like and focus on those things. Appreciate God for those things in your life and be happy and be positive. We've come to the end of module 3, and our next module, we'll be looking at factors that affect our low self-esteem.